The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
TGIF Warriors, how you doing? Hello, Patrick. Hi, Ziggy. How's everyone doing? I just want to show you one instrument here, something for you to consider. Euro Aussie looks to be setting up a failing rally here. You could be wrong over the spike high. It's showing more relative weakness than EuroCAD. Yesterday I talked about EuroCAD at 1.5, and it was good for about 50 pips or so, but now we're going to make a new high here. I think it's going to be a stop hunt. Preferred short relative strength wise is Euro Aussie here. Okay, so I think 48.5 is doable. Give me a while if you understand my analysis. You don't have to agree with it. Just want to make sure you get it. Everyone get it? Hi, Kevin, Dan, Arif, Ardianto, Omono, Kalus, Boo. Hey, Ziggy, how are you, my trading warrior brother? Jess, you like it? Okay. All right, Jess likes it. That's a good. Now, before I get into any markets, Blake's going to be with us. Did you? Okay, well, you tricked me. So besides some talking about markets right now, this is a little bit more important. It's Blake's son's birthday, Roman. What a great name, Roman. It's like a warrior name, isn't it? A centurion, Roman. So I'm going to, Blake, you could play this for Roman later. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Roman. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you, Roman? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Roman. I hope all your dreams come true for you this year. How you doing, Blake?
He's not here yet, mate. Good morning.
He's not
Steve.
here yet. Well, then you didn't get to hear it. Hi, Stevie.
He will hear it on the...
Okay, well, if the recording works today, he could play that for Roman.
Yes. We have more machines now.
How are you? How are you today, Mr. Volgi?
I'm fine. How have you been? How was your night?
I slept a lot. Needed.
That's good.
Yeah. So TGIF, anything catching your eyeball here? I like this Euro Aussie for potential, maybe it would be, I'm not an Elliotician, Steve, but perhaps ABC. And I just want to point out this is the first time in a long time in the Dixie. Where is it, Dixie? That it's not confirming the low. It's not a great reading. It still looks sick.
Yeah,
but I don't think I'd be short the dollar in here anymore.
Yes, and the main reason is the one we said yesterday. I mean, by the way, yesterday's DSI was also at 6, and this is too extreme of a reading. I mean, it warns of a pullback for sure. Now having to do with Euro Aussie that you said, it's still holding an ascending channel after breaking out. But
okay, where would it test the breakout?
You mean what kind of a retracement back we would need?
Well, where did it break out? Maybe you could show me.
Yeah, sure, I can show you. I'm not very sure we're going to retest it, but I'm going to show you now, yes.
Okay. I'm just looking for 8.5.
There it is. You remember that we were talking a long time ago about this wedge? Yeah. So
that would be pretty deep. Yeah,
that would be pretty deep. You never know, but I don't see this as a very likely scenario. I would be more than happy at the moment if we got a test of this level, 146, previous peak here, some lows here. So I think 146.
So maybe it's time to start looking at perhaps some retracements of this up move
Perhaps,
where they would come in.
but
Yeah.
for the time being, as you see, I mean, we are still respecting this steep ascending channel. Yes, okay, we have a couple of weeks up here that are warning that we have some momentum loss, but technically speaking, there is absolutely nothing bearish yet.
Not on the daily, yeah.
No.
So that's
No,
why,
as I've told you, one of the reasons I don't use shorter term charts most of the times. I do use 4-hour charts, you know, when I want to use when I pull the trigger or something. But until I decide what I want to do, I'm only using the daily because it filters out a lot of noise.
it sure does.
And this way, you know, it helps you avoiding jumping into something when it temporarily looks good, but it ends up at the end of the day that you know, that was just some kind of a reaction to some news or whatever else. So, you know, and of course the weekly filters even more.
You get, the more insignificant it is.
Exactly. I mean, I understand if you are a scalper, you have to use the 1-hour chart, you have to use the 15-minute chart. That's totally understandable because this is a totally different type of trading. But if you are trading, let's say, you know, your time horizon is a few days on average, I don't even understand why you would want to go to such a low time frame, like a, you know, like a 30-minute chart or a 1-hour chart. It makes no sense.
So Euro pound testing near the 86 range again. You know, the guppy, we haven't missed anything since the cover on that smash day.
Euro pound is still
bullish,
considering if it wants to break higher from this confluence of the 61.8 and the descending trend line that that has marked the previous 1, 2.
Sure fought its way back yesterday, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It did actually. It did. And today it's an inside day. We might not get this resolved this week since it's already Friday. But you know, the more it stays up here and contemplates on breaking higher, the more skeptical it makes me if it's actually going to turn lower from this confluence of resistances. So I don't know. I've bailed out of the position. I took profits on that a couple of days ago, and personally I'm not so bearish anymore, and especially if we close above this trend line. If I had to bet, I would say we will, but you never know. I will be definitely looking to at least complete the inverted head and shoulders target, which is up here at 0.8733.
Okay. Hey Ron, tweet me those Twitter handles and I'll contact them. And Steve, you're getting some questions. People are asking you about Aussie CAD, Euro NOK.
Okay. Let's take them one at a time. Since we're at Euro pairs, let's begin by Euro NOK. Okay, Euro NOK.
There you go, David. Ask and you shall receive. Okay,
Euro NOK. If you remember, we had a conversation. If you happen to be on that webinar, we had a conversation with Stelios when it was breaking out of here. I said that this breakout is definitely bullish. We did get a strong move higher, and then when we got this candle, I also showed that we had two equal legs, this one, and this candle was warning that we were turning lower, and indeed that was worth, you know, a decent amount of pips more. Now today's candle, for the time being, is starting to look bullish. I mean, we had a very bearish move initially, so it looked like we're going to be YA, B, C, at least perhaps retesting this.
Look at the RSI reading on it at the high.
Yep.
What do you call that high? What kind of high is that?
This is actually a confirmed high, more or less.
There you go.
In the sense that we had a very high RSI reading, and usually you don't see those in corrections. Of course, you know, there is no unbreakable rule. I mean, every rule has exceptions, but usually you don't see those at corrections. Sometimes
Who do you learn that from?
The vast majority. I know. You've been saying it all the time, and I'm
No. I'm curious. I mean, who taught you that?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
You just noticed it on your own.
I'm not sure. You know, I've been quite a few years now in trading, and sometimes, you know, you don't even remember anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. I can tell you as a fact that it is a rule that's right and proper. I mean, very often that's what happens when you see very high or very low readings. Yeah. They indicate the way that the actual trend.
It's an important part of how I look at things.
Yes, I'm totally with you. So Euro NOK, having to do with that, I wouldn't rule out another leg lower. But having broken out above here, I would be really worried being short. I mean, we at least need to break back below. As I said though, today's candle doesn't look too bearish anymore. It depends on where we close. Still, this might be a consolidation before another leg lower. Obviously, this is very strongly correlated with what oil is going to do as well. Generally as a structure, as I said before, perhaps ABC, but for the time being, rebuying lower is probably a better idea than thinking that we actually topped out here. That's my reading on this.
Yeah, the Saudis are complaining about the paper market in oil. They're, they sound like the gold bulls that are.
Yeah, you know something. They
the paper market.
Yes, they keep complaining about the paper market and whatever else excuse they keep finding. But do you believe that there is one chance in a billion that they would come out ever and complain about the paper market pushing oil higher?
No.
Exactly. So that proves the point. And do you have any doubt that paper trading has plenty of times, especially in the past, pushed oil higher? Speculation in general. And not
140,
dynamics.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe again to take it to 62. But if it's going to turn down again, it better do it soon.
You're right about it, because we are now testing the 61.8 of this last leg lower. As it seems, we found plenty of resistance, as I showed yesterday, in this ascending trend line. Yeah. For 3 consecutive days, we breached it, but failed to close above it.
And but as it seems. Yesterday.
But as it seems, since yesterday we finally broke above it, and we're now testing at 50. Okay, it's 49.91. It's okay. The 61.8. Obviously, this has been a very hard market to trade, and obviously, somebody can say that this was just an A, B, C. Most probably, I mean, just by eyeballing it.
Yeah, Grega has a positive view on it still.
I know, and you know something, from an Elliott wave perspective, just by eyeballing it, I would say that you see, the move lower was between 100% and 127.2. I mean, the second leg of the move lower. I mean, it could have easily been that, and Grega, by the way, is going to be here later. But let's give a freebie to people. Let's have a look at it.
Okay. I like your screensaver. Ground control to Major Volgi.
So let's have a look at what Grega says about
Did you want to be an astronaut when you were a kid?
Oh, always liked science.
Yeah.
I don't mean science fiction. I mean science in general.
Yeah.
Dale, have you seen him drive? He is an astronaut.
Good one, Stel. Yeah, no, I'd love to go on a cruise in Greece with Steve driving. I'll wear a helmet, but I'd still like to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So Greg, as it seems, does think that this is a correction lower, but he thinks that this is actually a zigzag, so it's a complex correction like ABC X, ABC Y, whatever, and then move higher. So he thinks that this rebound might take it a little bit higher, but he then looks for a little bit lower prices, then another thrust higher, and then then the C wave lower. So he does expect in the short term that we might go lower, then higher again, then one leg lower perhaps to bridge this low before being constructive again. So he sees oil to be in a complex correction at the moment.
Yeah, nice look.
Indeed. So now that we had a look of
There it
Greg,
is.
and Greg is actually going to be here shortly.
I
So
think we have the best community in the cosmos. What do you think? Huh?
Listen, depends on how you interpret the word cosmos. So if you're talking about the universe, I have no clue. None of us has. Now, if you're talking about Earth, I tend to agree with you.
I'd spec on that one, buddy. Yeah, so let's see. Any other requests? Someone's saying thinks that Euro Yen is in the zone. Kimster, maybe you could show Kimster's chart. Kimster's
yes, I'm gonna show his chart, but first because I was having a look at it before. Listen, I have a couple of interpretations for this. I'm a little bit hesitant from an Elliott wave perspective as well. Greg is going to have a better view on that, so you can ask him.
Oh yeah, Greg is going to be here today, guys.
Yes, he is. He is going to be a little bit later. I'm a little bit hesitant of if this is the end here. If this is the end of the correction, if you draw, I have it on my 4-hour chart. I'm just bored of picking up.
It didn't quite get to the 100%.
We tested the 61.8 from this low, from this high to this low. We tested the 61.8. So if this is going here and this is here, there is a good chance that we have an A, B, C. So a deeper correction. It will depend on if we break high or not. So I see a good chance of coming down again to retest, as was our initial thought, 122.50, perhaps even 121.50, a retest of this trend line, and then higher.
That'd be a great buy down there.
That would be a great opportunity.
It looks like that could be a magnet down there.
Yes, it will be a great opportunity.
Good hunting on that.
It will be a great opportunity. We're also going to see what our friend is seeing here. It will be a great opportunity, but I would not rule out that there is a chance that
it could also blow off to the upside.
Yes, there was a chance that this was 3, and then we had an ABC, an irregular, correction, and then we're moving higher. So we'll see. I mean, my main scenario for the time being, having been rejected from this level, is that we will see one lower low to come, and there will be a buyer down there. If we're lucky to do that, I'll be a buyer. Now let's see what our friend is seeing in Euro.
Yeah, he's short from 2.5, looking for from 4.5, looking for 22.
Okay, I'm with him then. That's the main scenario indeed. I'm with him.
Where are you wrong on it, Kimster? What kind of money management do you use? I'm just curious if you want to share that. You're short from 4.5. What do you risk?
Oh yeah, he has a trend line here, so he liked so he saw a confluence here. He's actually right. He's seeing a confluence of this ascending trend line at the 61.8 that I mentioned before, and he likes this as a shorting zone. And I'm with him. The risk reward is there. I mean, even if he's looking for a stop above the highs, he's still risking, let's say, 130 pips to make 200, 250. I think this is a good trade, actually.
He's actually saying that the trend line is a stop. That's what he's saying, which kind of makes sense.
So he has an even tighter stop.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. It depends on, how you want to, but even if he was looking for a stop loss above the highs, if his target is at least 122.50, which if we do get another leg lower, we should definitely, in my opinion, reach this 23.6 fib, which is at 122.25. Still the risk reward is there. It's better than 1-to-1.
Yeah, FACE is a place where pros come to do their intelligence gathering and share their work. And I keep seeing such great technical work over the years from people that have been in my rooms and now this room. It's an edge. And, Steve, I say this to people that are, attempting the goal of becoming a trader that trades for a living. Surround yourself with people that are better than you and you'll rise to their level. And, that really is something that's offered here to people that are fairly new to trading is, I say you can't learn experience, but you can learn from the experience. So the resource we have, no, Grega, we don't have a guest today. You're our guest. So, yeah, you know, it's an edge. Yeah.
The last 30 minutes are all yours, mate.
Yeah, it's really an edge to take a look at what the community is thinking. And I've learned a lot from, you know, attendees that have become my friends and great traders, and many of them I wouldn't want to fade, that's for sure. And their ideas, it's a different look. Like I was looking at Euro Yen too, but I didn't see it the way Kimster did. And you didn't see it the way Kimster did. So really it's a resource. Our community is also a resource. So
yeah,
just,
because you know something.
Improve it every day.
You know something, there is absolutely no way for you to be fulfilling, for anybody, I mean, when I say you, for you, the single person, to be fulfilling all the roles, you know, at the best possible way. I mean, how can you monitor various time frames in, let's say, dozens of tickers that even if you stick to FX, still FX has dozens and dozens of tickers. I mean, obviously more sets of eyes are going to bring things in your attention that you hadn't seen before because you were focused. Sometimes we even get tunnel vision. I mean, let's say you've been monitoring three things that are coming close to triggering an idea you had, and you know you then feel that, okay, I already have enough in my hands and I want to focus there. So you might miss some other opportunities, and that's good with that's one of the positive aspects of having a community, that we have friends here that are sharing ideas, and you know sometimes they bring something to your attention and you're like, oh yes, this looks great. I mean, yeah, I hadn't seen that.
When I was alone in the room, Steve, I more heavily depended upon the community, and they always came through. Because, you know, now there's, you know, Blake and you and Greg and Nick and Stell, and so that analysis is coming in. But when it was just me, it was a community that made the room. It was really the community. I was just facilitating great looks from, you know, dozens and dozens of professional traders. So.
And by the way, since Nick is not here now, but he's famously the harmonics expert, one of the best harmonics trader I've seen, probably the best actually. Since harmonics is all about Fibonacci's, somebody asked about gold, that's why I'm doing this introduction. Nick has been saying always that when you get a rejection of the 61.8, you very often find support at the 38.2. And that's exactly what happened here to the PIP. We touched to the PIP the 61.8 in gold, and then we touched to the PIP the 38.2, which, as you see, had already been marked by me as serious support resistance zones. So, because we also have the 200 DMA, the 50 DMA here at the 38.2 as we were going up. And we're rebounding again. As I was discussing yesterday with Blake, I think it was actually yesterday.
Yeah, Blake was short, covered, made money, it broke another $34.
We had this conversation saying that currently gold seems to be, you know, at a complex situation because we might be in a triangle here in the medium term. It seems that.
So we're not going to know until it closes above the solid blue or below the dotted.
Yeah, the intermittent. Yeah, exactly.
Everything
I mean, at the moment,
it's ranging and compressing into this triangle,
exactly. But I can tell you one thing, which I said it yesterday as well, and today it proves once again that it's important. Those two zones, 1,245 and 1,260, are also important levels for the market. So while we're in the middle of this triangle, because we're currently in the middle of this triangle, personally I find no risk reward. Blake shorted yesterday the 61.8 and that was a great trade. You could have gone long today, but this is not my kind of trading. I mean, I'm not trading, you know, for a few hours or whatever. But I can tell you as a fact that if you're looking to trade it, you know, a little bit longer term, currently there is no risk reward for you to be either short or long. But
Thank you,
we
Clayton.
already gave levels. If you want to trade shorter term, you already now know the levels that you should pay attention to.
Okay, so how about NASDAQ, Steve? What are you thinking? We had that 2-day, we are into the second day of recovery.
Yeah, and then let's also go to Aussie, because if another friend has asked some time ago, and I guess when I'm done with those, Blake should be coming.
Yeah, it was a spike. It was a spike trade. He was saying might be a good short. Oh, Ron Gervino, and you know Ron's contributing to my interview schedule. So I've interviewed a few people that Ron have suggested to me, and he's suggesting a few others. And I just want to let the community know that if you have a favorite analyst, trader that you would like to have me interview, I'm more than willing to contact them, or you could give them my contact information, or they could tweet me at Forex Stop Hunter, because that too helps me. You know, there's so many great people out there that I don't know them all. Okay, Hans wants Jim Rogers. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Martin Armstrong, I've interviewed before. I've been trying, Arif. I've been trying to get him. I don't know John Person, David, but you could send me some contact information if you follow me on Twitter, and I'll reach out to him. Okay, go ahead, Steve. There it is.
NASDAQ. I think for the time being a healthy correction to what we've had. Personally, I think that
unbelievable.
We should
blow the new highs again, isn't it?
If you're asking me if I'm bullish still U.S. stocks, the answer is, and stocks in general, the answer is yes. If you're asking me if my main scenario is that we had a one-day sell-off and that's going to be it, I doubt it. It's not impossible in the new era of things, but I would guess that we will at least get one more sell-off. So I'm sure.
So are we? We're 61.8 back already, aren't we? Of the break.
Yeah, should be, yes.
This, if you believe that this 2-day bounce is a shorting opportunity, or maybe into Monday.
I believe that as long as we hold below where I happen to enter, actually 5,685, I'm expecting to see at least one more leg lower to at least retest the lows we had the other day, because they will coincide then with this ascending channel, and perhaps even lower than that. Being long here after the move we had the day before yesterday, it can work. Personally, if I had to buy or sell now, because I'm short and I'm still in the money, I would be selling here for at least one more leg lower. So that's my view on this. Now, Aussie USD, another friend asked about it. Nothing has changed with Aussie USD. If you remember, at the lows, we had drawn this line up. Actually, it even followed the pace of the line we had drawn. That, you know, after the first day here, I said that I expect a healthy bounce to here, or perhaps to this line. And as long as in general we remain below, let's say 75.20, 75.50, I maintain a bearish bias, and absolutely nothing has changed. We are now at a good level that we might see another leg lower begin from somewhere here.
You know, I think the standout of the week was the failure of the yen. I would say that there's a huge amount of traders out there that are saying this to themselves, Steve. I thought the yen just broke out. You know, they're thinking about the channel breakout, and it negated the channel breakout. So I think the yen was the featured instrument of the week.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, if anything changed, that changed this week. The euro's been going up. That didn't change. You know, we're looking for a correction that may or may not happen. But what happened in the yen, I think, was pretty significant this week. Go ahead, buddy.
I agree with you.
That's why if you want to be in any kind of crosses, short side, you know, the yen crosses, to me, look like, you know, almost every rally you could sell them. So what are you seeing here in Kiwi yen?
somebody asked about Kiwi yen. So I'll tell them the following. I had this trend line since before. We are holding this. As long as we're holding this, I cannot tell you that you should be bearish. If you wanted to be bearish up here, that would make sense because it was a level we had marked as a resistance level. We had a possible A, B, C, and perhaps now we're starting in lower, like 1, 2, perhaps we're on a 3 and we might move lower. But this ascending trend line is still holding. So this is not the place to be short because there is no risk reward at the moment. Yesterday's spinning top that touched this line also is a warning sign. Today we're about to mark another spinning top as well.
So maybe your risk reward would be buying it here with stops under, 20, 30
but
pips.
for the reason you just mentioned before, I wouldn't be advising that as well. So personally, I would just, personally nothing. It's absolutely fine. There is no problem with having no position. By the way, Aussie yen, if you remember, we had marked this, that we might have made it up to there. We ended up getting a double top, at least temporarily here. We had a double top. We moved lower. We're still holding above here. If you wanted to short the double top, fine. Obviously, again, no risk reward. This looks like a choppy correction. Chances are that we're going to move lower again. But again, as we said with Kiwi yen, nah.
Why don't you extend that triangle line on that last chart that you had, the Aussie yen? The triangle on the left. No, not that, but that's okay. The one above it. The solid red one. Solid red one above it. Yeah, let's see.
This is a channel. This is not a channel. This is a channel. If we start breaking lower, because don't forget that this channel is going to pass somewhere at, I don't know, 73, let's say.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we're far away from that yet. Let's first see a break of this. First of all, let's see a lower low, and then we will be monitoring at this trend line, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
We have plenty of levels to watch in the downside if this this move starts.
And anything could happen. Maybe that's even a B wave completing, and we're going to get a C up to 85.80. Sure. And if that happens, the S&Ps will be at new highs.
By the way, USD yen, since you mentioned it, this zone 111.60, 112, 112 had acted several times as support resistance, even back here if you see. As a first rebound, we failed yesterday there. We retested today. We're failing for the time being there again. Obviously, there is absolutely no reason to be long USD yen, at least until we cross and close above it. So,
and I think a lot of people are trapped up there. They got long over 130.
There is a good chance. There is a very good chance.
Actually. I think they're still trapped. They're going, no, it just broke out. Okay, well, the breakout's no good, but it's holding 61.8. Then they'll go, oh, well, it's holding 78.6. Then they'll go, well, we're holding 108.
Yes, exactly. They'll tell you
I know that. You know how I know that? I've rationalized trades before.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
There's nothing you guys have done that I haven't done myself or seen others do. So, okay, brother.
USD yen, just want to say gold is outperforming DXY. Yes, agreed. So Kiwi yen, somebody asked, and somebody asks to go to Aussie yen monthly. Okay, that there is a big neckline there. Let's switch to the monthly chart and see what our friend is talking about.
I don't know. It's messy.
Yeah. Do you want to send us a chart?
Yeah. You could send us a chart. It looks like the monthly is missing.
There is a friend asking about platinum in relation to gold. He's saying that platinum is very cheap. I don't need to pull the ratio because I have been monitoring, and you're right actually. Platinum is quite cheap, and it has been. I mean, platinum used to be for a very long period of time more expensive than gold, and after some point that changed, and this remains the case. And
why
yes,
is that? Less demand for catalytic converters? I mean, wasn't that the main industrial use of platinum? For, you know, smog control and catalytic
yes,
converters?
but palladium is being used for that as well. I'm not actually sure. I can tell you for sure that platinum is a magnificent metal for you know, the main reason that it's also, but that applies to gold as well, but it's way more hard than gold, that it doesn't rust at all.
Okay.
So yeah, it has applications in several industries for sure.
But make great wedding bands.
Wedding bands, platinum,
yeah.
yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Blake, welcome.
Hey.
No, I've never seen a palladium wedding band.
By the way, Blake, you need to watch the video afterwards because, okay, it's not hard to guess, but Dale was singing Happy Birthday to Roman.
Oh, that was really nice. I'm going to actually show it to him this afternoon.
Yeah, you could play
Yes.
it for him later, buddy.
Oh,
and
that's
everyone here in the community, and I was saying, what a great name, Roman. It's a strong warrior type name, you know. He's a centurion.
Well, his brother is named Christian, so we figured the Christians and Romans would fight in our household as long as because historically that holds true anyway. So it's
does Roman ever try and throw his brother to the lions?
Oh my
Which
God,
one's older?
Christian's Christian's the older one, and Roman tends to be a little bit more aggressive. So that their names.
Well, he's a Taurus, you know. They're stubborn and strong-minded, huh?
That's right. That's right. So, but thank you.
So
yeah.
Take the screen from me, and actually later we also have Grega, so everybody's going to get the the chance of showing what they see. I already answered to whatever questions we had. I'm sure you have plenty of things to share with our friends.
Well, you know, there's a couple things that I wanted to point out. First of all, it is the euro dollar, and this is the. I'm just going to kind of show you the daily and the weekly of the euro. I've got it on this trade station. For me is easy to actually work from too, but because I work from them both, you know, this and, you know, these charts here and whatnot. But I was looking at the euro dollar because we're at the 618 of the entire range, and yeah, we're slightly above it right now. I mean, it's 111.87 as far as this chart goes on my on the trading view. It's 111. I have it at 111.75, but it may not be snapped right to the highs or lows. It's because you can see I didn't put it right on the low. It probably.
Yeah.
I just click the magnet here. Then click the magnet over here. Yeah, it's close, and I don't know if I have it on the exact low there, but anyway, it comes in right around these levels. I mean, any which way you slice it, we're really damn close to the 618. Also, you know, the daily relative strength is divergent. 4-hour RSI is divergent as well. You can see the 4-hour RSI is we're hitting new highs here. We're really divergent. That doesn't mean we can't go above 112, and I think we possibly can, just to take out some stops, because obviously the euro is extremely and has been extremely strong. Wow, look at this dollar yen rip up. It's ripping up with risk appetite actually, which I just closed out my dollar yen just a little while ago. So. But anyway, going back to the euro dollar. So here we are, you know, right up against highs, and I think we've got to watch it really carefully. I wouldn't be surprised to see the euro turn lower here after we push above 112. As long as we can close back below like 111.50, 60, I'm already putting on a short. I don't mind being on the short side of this. The other important thing about the dollar is the dollar DSI is still at 6. It's still really, really weak, and it's at a very extreme reading. And I thought, since we are at 6, and you don't see this that often. Actually, I don't recall a time that we saw a dollar bounce yesterday, and the DSI didn't change at all, which suggests to me that the dollar is ripe for a bounce. And that's why I'm, playing the euro on the short side here. I'm giving it a little bit of wiggle. I don't mind if it, pushes above 112 a little bit. And I was short the dollar yen on 2 separate occasions over the last 12 hours and closed them out. I shorted it at 111.40, closed out at 111.20, basically on both accounts, meaning both times. I traded, this on the short side, shorted up here like last night, up here, closed it yesterday evening. I shorted this morning when I got up, closed it this morning again, not all the way down there, down in the 20s. So I've been shorting the dollar yen on the short side, but noting that the DSI is so extreme and oversold on the dollar index, I'm kind of refraining from selling any more dollars at this point, and that's why I'm out to sell some euro dollars. One of the other things that I can't help but notice is how strong the euro pound is. This chart has been extremely, this one really got me yesterday because I was trading it to the long side thinking, okay, we closed above the 200-day moving average. It plunged yesterday, and I got out at like, I think I got out in the mid 40s, on my stop, like right through here. I took it to the long side. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to give it some risk. And when it came through this support, I got stopped out, which is fine. But what I was more surprised is that we've rallied back so aggressively in the euro pound, which really, to me, would be more concerning about the pound and being on the long side of the cable at this point. That's really one of the more concerning things to me, is that the euro pound could continue to rally. So and maybe my first idea 2 days ago was the right idea, even though I got stopped out of it. I'm not opposed to getting back on the long side of the euro pound, especially if next week we're trading up above 86 pence, like 86.20, 86.30. Then I know the breakout's for real, and that's going to excuse me. Sorry, I was at the end of the week. I'm yawn a lot, Dale. I think it's the 4 to 5 hour nights, 4 to 5 hour.
Yeah, I got 8 last. I got 8 last time. Yeah,
oh gosh, yeah, I could use one of those. That's for sure. Can't tell you the last
snooze on the alarm a few times too.
Wow,
so I know you.
That's a big one. I don't even know how to do that. My body rejects it. Anyway, I think the euro pound is worth keeping an eye on, especially not necessarily today. I think today it's going to be real choppy around here, but just in the next week. I think this is such a pivotal area for the euro pound, because there's so many people that are bearish. And I'd been bearish for a long time, expecting this head and shoulder pattern to play out to the downside.
Yeah. So that's a good point. And, that's why I've kind of had that bias. And that's why I've been, the guppy was the preferred short over euro yen early in the week. And it still looks that way. And they keep trying to take the pound up, and the pound doesn't look that bad. But the euro pound is saying, and keep saying, that the euro's your preferred long.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting here and I'm with you. I mean, I'm looking at it and saying, if the RSI breaks out over here, and let's just say that this euro pound, and I'm going to grab this circle really quick and drag it up a little bit. Let's say, like, next week we're trading up here and that RSI is breaking out. I have no choice but to be bullish the euro pound at that point. So You know, I don't know.
I think Nick's harmonic takes it up to the 87 range, 87 and a half or so. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think you know, and I think that's entirely doable. If you let's go look at her. Let's see.
So I think she took partials around the 86 level.
She did, and she's really bullish here, and you know, she's looking for a move up in this neighborhood. You know, a bullish move if it breaks out, and I think that, you know, we have to be on high alert for a potential breakout. You know, this euro is extremely resilient at this moment in time. I don't know if it's going to continue to stay as resilient as it is, but you know, we have to take note that the euro dollar is not selling off. It's not pulling back. It's extremely strong at this time, and so I think it's worth noting that the euro dollar could end up breaking out across the board, not only against the dollar but against the pound. I mean, the euro yen is extremely resilient right now, and that's due to, you know, obviously equities are moving higher. We had and Chi in our chat room, he was looking at the, you know, inverted head and shoulder pattern here, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't sure if it was going to play out. We were up at the 618, but we're actually, we might have completed it, or really damn close to. Let me.
Yeah.
Isn't really
it invaluable, those people you have in that chat room? You know, like the face community, we've had a few looks.
Well, that's the thing, is the community is here. Let me. Now I have to.
It's an edge, isn't it? Because you wouldn't have seen that head and shoulders yourself.
No, I might have overlooked it, and oh crap, I didn't want to do that. Hold on, I just completely screwed this up.
Oh, you went to the Dale Pinkert School of Trading View Technical Analysis. Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, perhaps that could take us above 125. You know, it's, again, you know, it's entirely possible at this point that happens. One of the other things that we have to you know, pay attention to is equities. Equities are pretty well bid this morning. I mean, look, the S&P is up 10 points right now.
It's unbelievable.
You know, yeah. I mean, we're back at basically at this is the 50% retracement on the S&P, where we stopped yesterday on a dime, right here, and then we're right back up again. You know, I wouldn't be surprised actually to see us go maybe just slightly higher in the S&P, maybe even up, maybe even to 2380, which is the previous support, to make it up there and then fail. You know, this right here will get everybody long. We'll you know, it's going to stop out a bunch of people from yesterday. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we make it a little bit higher before moving lower. But it is, we're going to be running into some really big resistance here on the S&P, in my opinion. You know, here in the next 5 S&P points. But
do you think the S&P and equities are benefiting from a weaker dollar here, Blake?
Benefiting?
Yeah. You know, I mean, reflation trade, weaker dollar to reflate. Do you think that it's bullish for us to have a weak dollar in the S&Ps? I don't know. Sometimes I think it's dollar flows.
I think it is. I think it is to, you know, to a certain extent. You know, as long as the dollar stays weak, it should be better for, you know, the economy. As long as it doesn't get, as long as it doesn't get too weak. I mean, because it should help inflationary pressures, because, you know, inflation's been our big hang up, really.
And bonds were turned back from a previous high too after that big down day in stocks, weren't they?
Yeah,
and I know that was a big part of your thesis here. They turned. They turned down from, you know, from pretty key resistance, and we had a really nice bullish from the April high. Yeah.
Bullish move. Yeah. So right now, I think that you know, we're you know, it's Friday. It's Friday, and the markets are a little bid, but remember this move that we saw this week, I'm curious to see how the rest of the day plays out, because this move that we saw this week is a scary move technically, and I am curious to see if it's really shaken the confidence of you know,
Yeah, right now I don't know who's the donkey, me or the S&Ps. So, you know, I've seen so many, you know, so much technical damage before, just no follow through.
Yeah, and the market just
I think next week is a test. I agree with you.
Right,
next
right.
week.
So I don't know. It's kind of tricky here. I think I'm really just paying more attention to the euro at this point. You know, I want to see how the euro plays out. It's been grinding all damn day. I mean, I mean, you look at the euro dollar. Whoops, it's the top one here. I mean, you look at the euro dollar. I mean, this thing has been grinding higher since. I mean,
yeah.
You know, really, you know, you're talking about. Yeah, let's see, 9 to. I mean, this thing has been really just grinding higher for the last, you know, since European Open. I mean, it's just been nonstop, you know. And so, and you can see relative strength is divergent all over the place too. It's just, you know, this is like a, you know, it seems like a lot of flows.
I like to see, you know, just something I teach, Blake, is for divergence plays, looking for reversals. I prefer to see the RSI under 70 to show that momentum is waning. Yeah, we're diverging, but we still almost have, what, a 78 reading here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's better when it's weaker. That's all I'm saying.
I see. Well, yeah, it's definitely on the move. And look at equities right now. Equities are just ripping. No one knows why. Just ripping. You know, here we go. Previous support should be current resistance here very shortly. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we end up holding that. But hey, I know Greg is going to be coming on in a few minutes, and I've got to get hopping, and I actually got to take a restroom break myself. So I just want to say, you know, I hope you guys have a great week or have a great weekend. And I want to thank you all for being here all week. And Dale, thank you for your continued efforts here at FACE.
Thank you, Blake.
It's
my pleasure and I'm really enjoying being part of ForexAnalytix. So
well, we're glad to have you on the team, and thanks everybody for being here. And I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Okay, thank you, Blake. Have a great weekend. Happy birthday, Roman.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Steve, if Greg is in the house, look at we're going to negate the island bottom and the VIX if they don't turn in here soon.
Let's see what Gregor has to say. Gregor, are you here, mate?
Is Greg in here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Greg, do me. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, mate. Not so loud, it's okay, but clear for sure.
Not so loud. Is better now?
Yes, and you're the presenter now, Greg.
Really?
Yes.
That's great.
So you can. Are you scared? I know you. Nothing scares you.
Scared?
You know,
no.
Some people are fear public speaking more than death. Anyway.
Yes, it was when I had the first webinar. I think it was 80 people in the room. I hold it on FX Street, and I was really shaking. And it's not that; it's more that I think that my English it's not so well, which it could be improved a lot more. So maybe that's the reason why.
You know what I always say to people that have learned a second language, you know how many Americans don't speak any other language, and the fact that you have been able to communicate in another language, I'd give yourself credit. Instead of having perfect English, you have very good English. But
yes, at least
I know a lot of people feel that way. I ask for an interview, and they go, well, I have broken English. But, you know, even broken English is better than what most people in the USA. They can't, maybe they know cerveza, you know, beer, you know, things like that. But most Americans don't have to master another language. So kudos to you, buddy. I understand everything. And your pictures, your Elliott Wave pictures, they speak 1,000 words in every language.
Okay, so I will be quiet today.
Huh?
I will be quiet today then. No, I'm kidding. Actually, you know, it's pretty simple to me to
say
speak
only
because...
pictures.
What?
Didn't we say only pictures?
Oh, pictures, naked pictures, huh? You want naked
No,
pictures?
no, I didn't mean that. Go ahead, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, it's not. I'm not afraid to speak in the webinar because I know that this terminology about markets, especially technical, from technical standpoint, I know those words, so I'm not afraid to speak and to make a presentation about technical analysis at all. So, okay, so we covered in last Friday. I think I was on last Friday, right, Dale?
Yeah.
I covered stock market. I covered the S&P 500. If we reviewed the first. Okay, so actually we talked about a potential reversal to the downside. Said that we could be in a flat correction here. Mentioned that upside can be limited because there was no real bullish momentum going on once we passed these highs for March. So I assume that this is only a free wave rise and that we'll see a reversal to the downside. I also mentioned that this gap should be filled, and if you will take a close look, actually it was filled right on point, and now we see a reversal. So this is typical indication. Firstly, when gaps are opened, it will take a few days, maybe even weeks to fill it, but once they are filled, you should be aware of another reversal. So actually, I'm not surprised to see this current bounce, but still, I would not trust this move. Okay, I would not be bullish just yet, because if we take a look on the 4-hour chart, you can actually see that this first leg down was very aggressive and clearly it was impulsive. And if you know Elliott waves theory, at least part of it, then you know that this should be either it's a start of a big 5-wave drop or it's part of a 3-wave drop. Okay, so I would
very clean 5-wave, the first leg lower. Very clean actually.
Here's this intraday count: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Makes extended wave 3, obviously. Then we have wave 4 and wave 5, and now we have a 3-wave move on the way. We are approaching this 61.8%. Then you have this another leg of 61.8% of wave A measured from this wave below. So I think this is a very interesting region here. Also, usually when you see market moving, especially when cash market opens, when you see a sharp move at the start, let's say in the first 30 minutes or in the first hour or so, I usually don't trust this action. Okay, so I would be very careful here, especially in the next, let's say, 15-20 minutes. I would not be surprised if we see a rejection from those levels. This is just an intraday reaction to the open prices, so I really think that their upside can be kept here. So I would be looking for a reversal to the downside. If we break this blue wave B swing support at 23.60, 61 around there, then really we should be headed lower. Now ideally we will see a 5-wave decline. Now if we focus on this primary count, which suggests that we are in an expanded flat, so I would love to see the retest of this wave A support here, and this would likely, if we see a breakout, this will likely will put a lot of traders on a bearish side. So in that case, I would be expecting a bullish reversal even more. Okay, from that perspective, when a lot of traders are going into one direction, then obviously you need to look for something different. And the next thing is
you're expecting one more bear trap, right, due to this correction, Gregor?
Yeah, definitely. I would not be looking for any bullish continuation just yet. Another leg down, so that traders would make sure, okay, we had the first leg, now we have a continuation. Okay, that's it. Top is in place. You know that, and everyone always, when you see a little bit of aggressive price action to the downside, because everyone are waiting on this significant drop on stocks. So if we see another push down, they will say, that's it, we are going out. But when we will see a test of this, or maybe spike beneath 23.19, that's when I would be expecting a bounce, because I think that there are some important, maybe even stop orders there. And once they are triggered, you know what happens then. So
Indeed.
yes. And actually, even if we don't see a retest of these levels, okay, I still think that there will be then maybe a triangle formation in this wave 4. Okay, so there will be a even more tighter range, but still, it's just a pause with an ongoing uptrend. We cannot ignore this this price, which keeps rising. We also don't see 5 waves up yet in this wave 5. So clearly, I think that's just a longer pause within this ongoing uptrend. So regarding the short-term view, where I think that we could see a next drop either for wave C or wave 3, but definitely third leg down, I think that there could be more weakness on yen crosses. So last week we talked about also about New Zealand against the yen. And if we review this one, I highlighted that we probably made a top for a wave 4 after this first leg down. So we have seen then a pullback, and now you can see a nice continuation lower, and this decline is just another confirmation that we are probably headed into deeper levels into wave 5. So if the S&P 500 will really face limited upside today, I would not be surprised to see New Zealand, this pair New Zealand against the yen, beneath or around 76 by the end of the day. Okay, so it really will be important what will happen on cash markets in the next 15-20 minutes. Also, here is this channel. We were trading slightly beneath it, but I think if we will get another low, then this would be really just will make a room for a wave 5 decline towards 75, maybe even 74. Okay, so definitely because of the S&P, where I think that we could see third leg down, I think that on this pair we could see an extension to the downside as well. So, oh, and also
nice call.
Yes, and
nice call last week.
Also, I think that Steve, you showed Euro Yen earlier, right? And actually, Euro Yen has also the same nice 5-wave drop from the highs. So
yes, I said that my main scenario is one more leg lower, hopefully to retest 121.50 or at least 122.25. That's
yes.
what I was looking for.
Yes, technically, yes. That's also the same thing that I'm looking for. But when it comes to trading, it's hard to be short euro. I think that there are much better pairs, because euro in general is very, very strong. So why would you pick the strongest currency? So
how about cable crosses? That being said,
no, Gregor, you don't understand. I agree with what you said, but my point is the following: I'm not looking to short euro yen. I'm looking because it's one of the strongest ones, and I believe in the euro. I'm hoping I'm going to get that deep of a pullback so I can actually buy it.
No, yes, of course. I'm just talking from a trading perspective to others.
Oh, yeah. You're talking in general, yes, that somebody, if somebody wants to actually be short one of the yen pairs, he should probably pick up something else.
Don't take it personally.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I didn't take it personally in the bad way.
You're so sensitive, Steve.
Nah, I'm not.
So, actually, yes, there are definitely much better pairs, I think, from strength perspective, that could give you maybe a better or more confident outlook into a trading setup. So that's why I personally picked New Zealand against the yen, because I wanted to be in the weakest currency. Okay, it did not decline as much as I expected it to be, but so far we are on a bearish side still. So as long as on this 1 hour chart, as long as we are trading below this upper hourly trend line resistance, I think that there are odds that we will see continuation to the downside. Okay. Also, I wanted to highlight any questions here? Dale, do we have any questions?
Any questions for Grega?
Otherwise,
people agree with you. Euro is brutally strong. Patricia says that most English, Grega makes more sense than most English-speaking people.
Really?
Yeah.
Send me this
So
quote.
you've got some groupies in here.
It's who? Patricia. That's a woman.
Yeah.
That's great.
You have groupies. All right.
Okay, so
I'll be your bouncer, Greg. I'll keep them away.
Okay, so
Go ahead,
I will also cover crude oil. We talked about crude oil a lot lately. If you recall, Dale, at the start of May, we highlighted that we are probably going higher into a third wave up. We didn't know at that time if this was going to be wave C or wave 3. Okay, so we said we are going back to this resistance area of a wave 4 that was part of a previous 5 waves of decline. And as you can see, week price action actually transformed from a 3-wave movement, which could be firstly labeled as ABC, into a 5-wave recovery. So this week's price action is probably very, very important as we look forward for the next few weeks, because we have 5 waves up. It looks like we have a tradable low in place at 43.70, so I would be looking definitely for more upside. Okay, and so I prepared actually 2 different wave counts. Okay, the first wave count is actually this one. It actually shows the idea that this current recovery is still wave B, okay, as part of this complex decline that could retest 40 levels. But even this wave B, even if just a temporary pullback, it needs to be structured by 3 waves, okay? So you need this leg to the upside before we may look lower again. So I think that this upper trend line could be tested. So when it comes to trading, I think there will be room for trades to the upside, because as I said, there is coming a 3 wave of recovery. And if you take a look here on the left chart, we have a slightly different count. I'm looking here for a potential completion of a flat correction. Okay, wave A down, wave B, and then expanding diagonal for wave C. And here we also expect a bounce, but more significant one. So if you focus on just this part, okay, here on the left, on this leg, okay, or on this leg, I think they're both counts offer a good potential trading opportunity to the upside, but after a pullback, either after wave B or after wave 2. Okay, and I made this wave count on the right today because I was looking for some kind of a confirmation from other markets what really could be happening, which count could come correct. Is maybe this on the left more correct than one on the right? So what I did is I looked at the commodity index, CRB. It's actually the commodity index that tracks a lot of different commodities, copper, sugar, cocoa, crude oil, gold, and everything else. But crude oil, I think it has the most weight. So actually, here I made an overlay chart. Just a second.
He's like the Santa Claus, Dale. He comes bearing gifts.
Yes.
Yes. So actually, on the top here, okay, we have this commodity index. Okay, and you can see that correlation is very tight. Okay, so if we thought that this structure on crude oil, which is lower, is not very clear, and we don't know what type of a pattern is unfolding there, well, we have a commodity index here which is pretty clear. We have impulse up, and then you have a free wave movement. Okay, so if we consider that potentially we could continue higher here, then definitely crude oil could be in the same line. So that's why I came out with this alternate outlook on the right, which indicates that after a pullback we may even see a strong rally into wave 3, not only wave C, but even wave C is tradable. Okay, so on the shorter term charts, I would watch this wave B or wave 2 pullback back to 48, maybe even 47, and then for more gains.
Nice.
In essence,
and you know, Greg, I saw before you went to it, oh yeah, there's your weekly. That's really bullish.
Yes, also this weekly we have potential left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Also in head and shoulders pattern, especially those very big ones, there you will typically see that one shoulder will be more complex than other one. Okay, so if we consider this left shoulder was more simple one, we have now more something to deal with more complex. So once we break this upper trend line, I think that because of this complex shoulder, I think that really we may see a strong push to the upside on oil prices. And if we consider this in line with CRB index, in line with those Elliott wave charts, then I think that crude oil can stay bullish.
So, Steve and Grega, do you think the Saudis will complain about the paper market if Grega's oil weekly scenario plays out?
I have a feeling that not. Actually, what I wanted to ask Grega is the following. Grega, as you understand it, if your outlook, your preferred, because as an Elliottian, and this is a great example how you displayed that even by having two alternative scenarios in hand, there is a trade to the upside on the next dip in oil regardless. Just in one case it's going to bring more profit to the upside, in the other case it's going to be more limited. But the question is the following: if this CRB view you have and the oil view comes out to be true, you understand obviously that that is bearing bad news for the dollar, because
yes,
I cannot easily imagine such a move higher with the dollar being strong at the same time. I mean, you know, it's going to be, it's not impossible, but very, very unlikely. So do you believe that the dollar has, or anyhow has topped, or anyhow is, I don't know, is just going to bounce briefly once again? What's your view on the dollar?
Actually, I can take you to the euro-dollar chart. Okay. What I think it may happen is that euro-dollar or dollar index could stay sideways. They may not be so bearish for CRB index to continue higher. Okay, both will definitely not be continuing higher, that's for sure. Okay, so, but I would not be surprised if dollar index and euro dollar will stay just more trapped in a big range, and oil will still continue to the upside. That's definitely possible as well. So regarding, but I have here one alternate look for euro dollar. Okay, just let me bring it on. Too many charts. Okay, so here it is. Actually, here on the right, I have an alternate look, which indicates that we can be forming a flat correction here for wave 4. Okay, so flat correction is a 3-3-5 pattern. Let me label this. We talked already about this on S&P. So you have here 3 waves up for a wave A, then you have 3 waves down for a wave B, and then you have 5 waves up for wave C. Okay, so if you consider here that there is room for much more gains on euro dollar, okay, then CRB index could definitely continue to the upside because dollar would be on a bearish foot, as you said. Okay.
I'm favoring the last view you just showed. I've been constructive on the euro since a couple of months ago. We even had discussions here early on with Stelios and Dale. Personally, Greg, I think that this is a very likely scenario. I mean, I can easily see euro moving higher, perhaps even trapping people long if it goes above 117, 118, and then perhaps snapping back. But I see.
But again, yeah, we are in a correction, right? So
I'm with you. I understand. I see. You believe that even this way, this is just going to be a longer-term flat correction after the third wave down, and this is going to complete wave 4, and then you're still expecting. That means that you're most probably then expecting a break of parity afterwards, correct?
For a move towards parity.
Yes.
Yes. But no, what I wanted to highlight is that also this count on the left is also valid, potential triangle. Because
yeah, I understand.
3 waves for a wave A, 3 waves for a wave B, you know that only two patterns are possible. Either it's a flat or it's a triangle. So this triangle also is a valid scenario, but what really concerns me is that we have, after a few weeks of recovery here on Euro, we have one of the strongest weeks now for the last what? I don't know when we have seen.
I agree with you. It looks too impulsive to me. I'm totally with. I mean, that's my concern as well. My concern. I was bullish the euro, so it's not a concern. But I really believe that seeing this week that the scenario that this is just going to die off so fast has less chances of in comparison to the other scenario.
Yes, actually, as you can see here, the latest similar candle was here back in 2016, at the start of 2016, so more than a year back. So actually, because of this strong move up, today is Friday, so likely we will close bullish here. Really, I should consider that this scenario on the right is the case, because typically you have the sharpest price action in the middle of a 5 waves of recovery. So
exactly, and that would make this the middle of the third wave of C, which makes sense why it's accelerating, correct?
Yes, exactly. But only thing that concerns me is this gap. I don't know where it was. Maybe Dale will know, because he's in this business for a very long time, if we had such a big gap staying open on the FX. I really don't remember. So I still...
in FX it's not real, it doesn't happen a lot because of the 24/6 nature of trading, but that was a breakaway gap, it looks like to me. So yeah.
Yes, but still, are they getting filled? Normally, yes.
Yeah, there is, not if it's a breakaway gap, you could end up with a runaway gap if we get the scenario to the right.
But
after a pullback, and then we gap again on some of them.
Yes, but what I noticed from the last 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah, every gap's filled.
Yes, that every gaps on FX are getting filled. The same.
Yeah, just check out your gap though on the left side. Do you see? On that chart you have open? Just check the gap on the left. Left.
Yeah, the gap at 119 was never filled.
Yes.
Look how long it may be filled now.
Left.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Up there. That was filled.
Yes.
Okay.
Breakaway.
That's okay. The only question is if this is valid gap. I don't know, because that's a demo account. So
let me verify that. Wait.
Yeah, so people get trapped with that rule sometimes, Grega. They think every
it is a
gap
valid
is going to be
gap.
filled.
I can verify. That is a valid gap that you see there.
Interesting point there.
Yeah.
So why not have this 5 move up for C to fill in that gap, and then move down for wave 5 to fill this runaway gap?
Yeah, that's an interesting. I like that view, Steve.
Yes,
that's a possibility.
It's possible, but as it comes for trading, because that's why clients are here, listeners are here, definitely they should be aware of current strong momentum. So there are odds that we will continue much higher rather than just waiting and for a drop. There's better to stay with the current trend, which is clearly euro bullish, not to mention other euro crosses. All right.
Yeah, some of them are beasts, honestly. Some of the other euro crosses.
Exactly.
They're not even offering pullbacks for people to enter.
To enter, yes. And once they will get it, it will be a top.
Not unlikely.
Thank you, Grega.
You're welcome. Okay, I will pass the screen.
Okay, Steve, you have anything to add? I think it was a great week. Let me ask the community, what was your favorite part of the week? I know there are a few charts that you guys want to show, but I think it's time to wrap it up. I think we've accomplished another week of, our My Mission statement and ForexAnalytix. Our goal is to build up and edify traders every day. Aussie short was the best one. Okay. Yeah, the commodity yen shorts were good. Guppy wasn't bad. Fib retracements. Your favorite parts when you made a profit. The palladium call, that was Steve's. Nice. Any others? Any interviews that you guys enjoyed? The NASDAQ chart by Brief Like them all, long euro from 7 o'clock this morning, Chris Baxter. Okay, congratulations, Chris. We celebrate your victories like they're our own, and Anthony loved Alfonso. So I want to thank everyone for being part of the best community on the net, in my humble opinion. And have a great weekend. Do your work, your homework when the markets are closed and things are quiet so that you're executing next week. Okay. Enjoyed every day when you guys and Steve's and Stelios, okay. And Blake popping in and me too, and you're very welcome. So everyone enjoy your weekend. Thank you for your support of what we're trying to do here. I hope that we're adding value to what you're trying to accomplish as a trader. Hope you'll give us a chance by at least signing up for a trial, and enjoy your weekend and see everyone next week. Thank you, Steve Volge, Stelios. Thank you, Grega. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Blake. And thank you, Face. So keep a smile on your face all weekend, and then bring in your war face Monday, and we're going to kill them next week. See ya, Homo inoculus. And you too, Stalin. Don't purge us. Okay, Stalin, don't purge us over the weekend. All right. Take it easy, my friends, trading warrior brothers and sisters, and remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Talk to you Monday. Adios.